Welcome to Lobster's list for March 4th, 2013. Number 1. Fathom from Iron Sun Studios is a 2.5D game where you control a steampunk submersible exploring an underwater cavern where Atlantean machinery can be found. There is a very strong visual presentation to this game, with nice camera panning and effects like bubble trails. Gameplay is a mix of action and puzzle solving, and by contributing £10, you can pre-order the game for PC. I was reminded of the game Cinemora when I first watched this pitch video. The $120,000 goal means this campaign is going to need to build up a good amount of momentum to get funded. Number 2. XING: The Land Beyond is a first-person adventure game with impressive lighting, and the player can summon weather effects like snowstorms to change the environment. The silent protagonist ends up on a mysterious collection of islands in the afterlife with many different biomes. The game for PC can be pre-ordered for $15. Just watching the gameplay footage was immersive. If you like the Myst series and would like to see what a more modern version of Myst could be like, then go watch the full trailer. Number 3. Super Ubi Land from Notion Games is a 2D platformer with a combo system that I've been aware of for some time over on the Construct 2 forums. The game's energetic soundtrack is one of its biggest selling points, and you can listen to the samples on the project page. Purchasing a Wii U development kit is one of the main reasons for the developers coming to Kickstarter, as Nintendo has already shown interest. There's also the possibility of OUYA support. You can pre-order the game for PC, Mac, or Linux at the $15 tier, which includes your name in the credits. The $20 tier adds a pre-order of the game for the Wii U eShop. Number 4. Empire Eden draws some of its inspiration from games like Metal Slug and Contra. This is another game with a soundtrack that caught my attention. The protagonist, who is able to use animal spirit abilities, finds his tribe's homeland under invasion by a mysterious empire. PC, Mac, and Linux are the first group of platforms it is being developed for, with ports to PSN, Xbox Live Arcade, and OUYA being considered. All backers can gain access to a playable demo 2 weeks before the general public, with the actual pre-order of the game for PC at the $10 tier and higher. Number 5. Back to Bed from Rusty Dice and Bedtime Gaming is an IGF-nominated game from Denmark with a surreal art style. It stars a sleepwalking Bob and a guardian formed from his subconscious. The player will have to solve puzzles to get Bob safely through the level to his bed. PC, Mac, Linux, iPad, Android tablets, and OUYA versions are planned, with a pre-order at the $5 tier for the iPad or PC versions. I am not sure if I like the voice of the narrator or not, but I do like the soft look to the 3D models, colors, and edges. Number 6. OUYA Gaming Source is a project for a website and web series to provide weekly news and reviews related to the OUYA console and the games announced for it. Funding will help the production of the show for 12 weeks and development of a community website. There are already some episodes up, and their graphics are far better than what I have for my show. A $1 pledge can get a Kickstarter backer icon on the forum, a tweet, and your name listed on a virtual contributors wall. The $10 tier adds beta access to the RPG game Festival of Magic, which is one of the more visually polished games I've seen announced for the OUYA. I hope that this gets funded so that there's another place where indie games with OUYA as a target platform can get some help promoting themselves. It is better to have a resource like this ready before the June public launch of the OUYA rather than after. Now on to honorable mentions. Creatures and Catacombs: Fulgrim's Quest is an action RPG in a Conan-like world targeting releases on PC and Xbox 360. The art style uses sprites rendered from high-detailed 3D models. There's a playable demo and the game can be pre-ordered with a $15 pledge. An option for 2-player multiplayer is at the $20,000 stretch goal. I think the project's thumbnail is scaring potential backers away. Galaxy Chomp has you pilot a ship through a procedurally generated galaxy while upgrading your ship's parts. Weapons are fired automatically while the player focuses on piloting their spacecraft. There is a system for weapons dealing solid, energy, and explosive damage categories. You can pre-order the game for PC and Linux at the $10 tier. Rogue System is a combat space sim for PC with a focus on providing an experience of being in the cockpit as a pilot pushing buttons and pulling levers. There are some neat ideas, like what if the pilot was freezing to death or has tunnel vision. Multiplayer and Oculus Rift support are being considered if it gets enough funding. The various reward tiers offer different levels of membership. Defenders of Suntoria, Dark Sun Rising from Steel Steed Studio is a tower defense game for PC, iOS, and Android. Clerics, Archers, and Wizards are the 3 starter classes for units, which can then be upgraded into different classes. There's also a hero unit with his or her own leveling and classes. There's a $15 pre-order tier, which includes the soundtrack and access to a private forum. Haxel is an online multiplayer, voxel-based first-person shooter with destructible levels and a map editor so you can create your own arenas. How the environment's blocks crack to indicate damage levels and enemies breaking down after being killed are nice touches. There's a lot of focus on modding support. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps those projects.